Hello students of class 10th. Student, today as we are going to start new chapter, chapter green skill from unit 5 and part from part 1, you can say part A, employability skills. CBSE IT code 402. So student, today we will talk about the sustainable development categorized in green skills. Green skills, student, means such a skill we should have without harming the nature. We complete or satisfy our need. So as we know, student, ki humans have strived for development ever since the beginning of civilization. As you know, ki without development, we cannot move further, we cannot progress. So here, from the early time of the human being, human kept trying to do innovative things for the future and present. The development is considered as a gradual progress for improvement in the many sectors you can count in the finger, like economic, social, political, and cultural systems. However, the impact of the development on the environment and the natural resources was not considered in the initial years. You can say कि for getting the development without as a considering the natural resources, human wisely utilized it, and this approach has resulted in the rapid depletion of these resources. The student, as a ki one author is said in your book also, ki green is the prime color of the world, and that from which its loveliness arises. Who said? Pedro Calderon de la Barca. Very wonderful line it is, green is the prime color of the world. Without the greenery, there will be no any life. There, you can see you can't imagine of the life in the on the earth. So that's why it is a loveliness because of its greenery. So here we talk about the sustainable development student. So as we talk here the sustainable development, so the concept of the sustainable development received first time major international recognition in 1972 at the UN conference on the human environment, and that was held in the Stockholm, Sweden. And the term was not used explicitly, but the international community agreed that both development and environment could be managed in a mutually beneficial manner. And after that, in 1983, the United Nations created the World Commission Environment and Development, that is the WCED, which was later known as the Brundtland Land Commission, and I think that is a Brundtland Land Commission. This, Christian, this was Christian. You can understand, you can imagine about the what is here commission Brundtland. You know, the Brundtland was the prime minister of Norway at that time, and his full name Gro Harlem Brundtland, and was appointed the chairperson of the commission. As a student, it was the history of the starting to sustain our development and problems worldwide. And now, first, we can go through the concept of the sustainable development. But before uh, understanding the concept of the sustainable development, we should talk something about here the uh, what is a sustainable development. You can simply put it, sustainable development is a long term, it is a long process, integrated approach to development, like related to the economic, environmental, and social issues, while avoiding excess consumptions of vital natural resources. Sustainability seeks to protect our natural environment, human well being, and ecological health, while driving innovation and not compromising our way of life. The student, as you know, ki sustainable development, as I told you, ki it is a long process, long term, and it is integrated with the our with the development, like economic, as I told you, many aspect of the life of many aspect. So it means without as a while avoiding excess of the consumption, means consumption of the natural resources, we have to make a such a type of the sustainability to for the protecting of our natural environment. And the concept of the sustainable development we can understand here. There are two differences here, major differences: conventional approach and sustainable development. So ki first we talk here the environment, as I told you many time here, environment. I know ki you know all about the environment. Ki what is the environment? The environment is everything what do we see around us, and we find the many things related to it, like when we see outside or see around side, we find everything related to the land here. We find many things as we see the outside, we find many things related to it, like we see the plant, we see the land, sky, water, and birds, animals, humans. These all related to our environment, and we can categorize our environment into four category, like lithosphere related to land, hydrosphere related to water, atmosphere related to air, biosphere related to our cells, means related to the living things. So these are the such thing which we have to protect. This is the environment. This is a sustainable development without the harming our environment. So here some of the principles we can talk about also. Okay, there are some principle of the sustainable development, like we can talk about here living within environmental limits, achieving sustainable economy, promoting good governance, using science responsibly, ensuring a strong, healthy, and just society. So these are the some principle which we can talk about on these issues. So the principle of the sustainable development are based on these integration of the environmental, as I told, the social and economic, the concern into all aspect of the decision making. What I told you now. The student, as we can talk about here, the goal of the sustainable development as a starting, I told you about it was started with the such a goal in 1972. It got the recognition, and in 1983 it was they had the created the World Commission Environment and Development by United Nations. So that was the goal. What was the goals to achieve this? As a the as a they are the 17 SDGs, means sustainable development goals. That is, the action in one area will affect outcome in others, and that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. The objectives, you can say, like economic growth, as I telling, social balance, I mean balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. So if we talk about the economic growth, students, we find here building like a robust and competitive economy, ensuring that sufficient land is available to support growth and innovation, identifying and coordinating other development needs, environmental protection, protecting and enhancing our natural environment, helping to improve biodiversity, using natural resources wisely, minimizing waste and pollution, helping to decrease climate change, spearheading a global shift to low carbon economy. So, student, these two things we can do. As a second one, it is related to everyone here. We protect, for protecting to our nature, we can help in a small step, like here it is telling natural resources use wisely, minimizing waste pollution, helping to decrease the climate changes. So these are some steps you can take in your in our daily life. So here we can talk about here the cultural diversity also, like building sensitivity towards all the cultures and celebrating diversity. So now we can talk about here the importance of sustainable development. So the growth of an economy is considered to be out, uh, you can say, to be of utmost importance. However, the negative impact that unrestrained growth has on the environment is rarely brought to the forefront. So here is a consequences of the unbalanced development. If we talk here, over the past 2 decades, economic growth has come at the expense of the environment. The following points we can describe here one by one we can. Earth natural resources have been used in an insufficient and wasteful manner that has resulted in poor air quality and overall climate change. Greenhouse gas emissions are rising alarmingly, and world is on a path to raise the average global temperature by more than 3 degrees Celsius in this century itself. The world is already experiencing the repercussions of the climate change, from sea level rise and melting glaciers to the more extreme weather patterns and destructions of the ecosystem and biodiversity. The children, these are some consequences of unbalanced development. So we can here take the such a measure to be taken for the sustainable development, as we have seen these all things, and we are facing these all types of the calamities. But here we can take the some step to measure, means we have to take such a measure steps to for protecting to our development, I mean sustainable development. First, here proper use the means and resources. Second, development of positive attitude and holistic approach toward the conservation. Integrated socio-economic development can be development based on the people's participation, limited development, long lasting development. So these are such a criteria, or these are the such a step we can take to protect our, we can take for the sustainable development. So as a student, we talked here about the sustainable development. I think you will read all things by your own way, and what I tried my best to tell you about the sustainable development means really about the chapter green skill. So you will read the chapter properly and thoroughly. And student, one more thing here, as a half yearly exam coming very near, for that you will have to read all the objective type questions. The objective types questions are coming maybe from the mid of the chapters, it can come. So that's why read every chapter thoroughly and properly. And more about that, MCQs, read all MCQs in every chapter, as I know it is given in the session wise. But I know, I trust you, I believe on you, you will read all things properly and complete in time. So thank you for watching this video, student. Thank you very much.